Fox Sports.
We are Baltimore. We are Minnesota.
This Twins and Rockies series is brought to you by the all-new Chrysler 200 with available all-wheel drive. It's America's import. It's game one of a three-game series at beautiful Coors Field. And what a contrast in experience on the mound with the starting pitchers. Chris Johnson in just his third major league start. He'll be opposed by the top left-hander for Colorado, Jorge De La Rosa. Start number 178 in the big leagues. Welcome inside Coors Field. Rained about an hour ago, but it's going to be a beautiful night for baseball and a big challenge for Chris Johnson, who when he pitched last for the Minnesota Twins, it was in May against the Los Angeles Dodgers, second half of a doubleheader. The good news is he shut him out. The bad news is only 4 1/3 innings, and he had 6 walks. So certainly issues with control, issues with getting a little too amped up, and the nerves were a part of that for certain. He's done well down in Rochester. We caught up with his pitching coach, Rick Anderson, and asked him about the challenges he faces tonight against the big-hitting Rockies.
You saw him for that one start earlier in the year, and he walked a few guys. But, you know, I bet you I said every inning to him, I said, you got to trust what kind of stuff you have. Man, you got good stuff. You know, his ball flies out of his hand. He's got sharp breaking balls. He's got a feel of a changeup. And I said, don't pick. You don't have to be so fine. So I'm hoping that one start kind of knocked the edge of, hey, I'm in the big leagues, and maybe he'll be a little calmer this time.
It'll be a tough task. Johnson faces a lineup loaded with tough outs. Dick and Roy next to chat about 2 of those in more No and Too Low.
Baseball on Fox Sports North is presented by Menards. Save big money on all your home improvement needs at Menards. And by Chrysler, imported from Detroit.
Welcome to All-Star Week here on Fox Sports North. The Twins and Rockies begin a 3-game series tonight from Coors Field in Denver. And an interesting road trip for the Twins. On one road trip, they've gone from one of the toughest ballparks to score runs, Safeco Field, to the ballpark that yields the most runs, and by a huge margin. We'll see whether we have any 2-0 ball games here at Coors Field. Dick Bramer and Roy Smalley here for the series opener from Coors Field. And the Twins taking on a Colorado Rocky team that struggles in the pitching department, but they've got a great 1-2 punch and a familiar name in the middle of their lineup.
Justin Morneau back, having a Justin Morneau type of season, and how fitting is it that after 4 years of battling injuries, he's come back now to be third in the National League in RBIs, and we get to see him in the Home Run Derby in Minnesota. Talking to Justin today, he's excited. We're excited for him to be having the kind of season that we're so used to seeing so long ago. And now the All-America Scouting Report on the real straw that stirs the drink in Colorado, Troy Tulowitzki. Great athleticism, but also steadiness at shortstop. He hits for average and power, and on top of all of that talent, he is a clutch performer as well. They tell me here in Colorado that he has become a real leader on this ball club as well.
And, of course, after the game on Sunday, the teams will head off into the All-Star break, but some players will be heading to Target Field for the Home Run Derby. And, of course, Brian Dozier for the Twins will be participating. Justin Morneau and Troy Tulowitzki for the Rockies. We'll see whether there are any home runs in the series opener here tonight. Developed by the Minnesota Twins, a perennial all-star, former league MVP with the Twins. And a year ago, he was still playing for the Twins. Traded at the end of July to the Pittsburgh Pirates. And now in the first of a 2-year deal, he signed with the Colorado Rockies. And Morneau heading to Minnesota as a participant in the Home Run Derby with an outside chance yet that he'll be named to the National League All-Star team in the event there's an injury over the course of play this weekend. You and I had a chance to visit with Justin before the game today. He's really looking forward to getting home. He was coming back to Minnesota anyway during the All-Star break, but he'll get a chance to put on a Rockies uniform and try to hit some out at Target Field on Monday night. And Ron Gardenhire has seen his team take 3 out of 4 so far on this road trip. They have a winning record against the Rockies. This is the 4th interleague series between the two teams. 2 in Minnesota, 2 here in Denver. And the Menards batting order for the Twins: Brian Dozier leading things off. Kurt Suzuki batting second. Kendrys Morales, Trevor Plouffe, Oswaldo Arcia, Eduardo Nunez, Eduardo Escobar, Sam Fold, and watch out, pitchers get to hit in this series. Chris Johnson. Chris Johnson will make the start for the Twins and hope to get a base hit as well.
And on the mound for the Rockies, Jorge De La Rosa. Kind of one of the few men left standing here in the Colorado starting staff. They've been just wiped out by injuries, but De La Rosa pitching pretty well. 9-6 record. His ERA up there a little bit, but he's been very, very well the last 3 starts.
And the Rockies out in the field, brought to you by Northland Ford. Charlie Blackmon in left, Drew Stubbs in center. Carlos Gonzalez returning to the lineup tonight and taking over in right field. Nolan Arenado, the third baseman, he's really good with the glove at third. Troy Tulowitzki, a perennial all-star. DJ LeMahieu at second, Justin Morneau at first, and Willeen Rosario behind the plate. Take a look at the umpiring crew, and we've just been notified of a change. Chris Guccione is the third base umpire for Adrian Johnson. Twins were here back in 2008. Won 1 of the 3 games, and in the 2 series the 2 teams have played in Minnesota, the Twins have won the series 2-1. We'll see what Brian Dozier can do to get things started. It'll be Dozier, Suzuki, and Morales here in the first inning.
Dozier looking at Morneau, saying, "I'm going to bunt on you." It's different and a little strange for Justin to be looking across the infield at the Twins dugout. A lot of buddies over there, and a lot of real heartfelt emotion that Justin has for Ron Gardenhire and the whole club.
Here's Dozier. And strike 1. Here's what you were talking about.
Yeah, he's looking looking at him and saying, "Yeah, I'm going to bunt on you."
1 strike to Dozier. And wallop to left, and Blackmon is right there to make the catch. Dozier tees off and lines out for the first out. There isn't anything that De La Rosa does that he does quickly. His delivery is slow. He takes time between pitches. So if you are in a hurry here tonight, you are out of luck. Here is Kurt Suzuki.
One of the more frustrating things about baseball, it's not the speediest game anyway, as we all know. And I like the rhythm and the cadence of the baseball game, but not when the pitcher is dictating those rhythms and cadences by being ultra slow. That's not as much fun. And I come from that naturally, playing behind guys that were slow. It's tough. You really like pitchers to work quickly if you're playing behind them.
Suzuki takes inside 2-0. Just when the batting average gets down to around 300 for Suzuki, it takes a bounce back up. Now up to 307. He will get tomorrow off. And catch again on Sunday. There's a strike that covers the inside corner.
I think one of the reasons why his batting average drifts down and bounces back up is his personality, and it's 2 things. He's worked real hard with Tom Brunansky on some things mechanics wise, but he's just got such a great attitude about taking 1 at bat at a time.
Chopper foul.
So when the batting average is drifting down a little bit, there's not a whole lot of concern in Kurt's mind. He's thinking about just the next at bat, each at bat 1 at a time, and then he finds it a little bit again. He gets a bunch of hits. He jumps right back up to where he is now at 307.
2-2. That's to center, and it drops in for a hit. Suzuki with a single, and you can hear in the background a lot of Twins fans are here. either making the trip or transplanted to this part of the country. That'll bring up Kendrys Morales,
who has really started to get it going. Last 4 games, swinging the bat very well. Big end of the bat on the ball just about every time he offers it one in the last 4 games. And you can see it coming. And when a really good hitter starts getting the big end of the bat to the ball, then you know some hot streaks are coming, and this guy can hit.
And it seems as if his better hit balls are hit right up the middle. He hasn't pulled the ball all that much. A couple of doubles that he crushed in Seattle in key spots, driving in runs, and he chops this one foul.
He's not a dead pull hitter anyway, never has been, and he looked like he was trying to be in that little slump that he had gone through as he worked his way back from having no spring training, actually having not hit against a big league pitcher for about 8 months. And no reason to think that he wouldn't go through a little bit of a slump, but now that he's starting to get on the ball and hit the ball in the gaps, like you say, Dick, I would imagine you're going to see some balls pulled pretty hard here fairly soon as well.
Rosario digs it out of the dirt. 1-1.
But Kendrys Morales' game at the plate has always been to use the whole field. He hits the ball hard all over the place. That's why he's been such a good RBI guy.
That's grounded wide of third. 1-2. De La Rosa really tough against left-handed hitters, and the Twins have got a couple of them in there. Oswaldo Arcia is in there. Sam Fold is in there. One and two to the Twins' first baseman. No designated hitter, of course, in this National League ballpark. Sharply hit. Nice pickoff by LeMahieu to Tulowitzki. Double play. LeMahieu kind of screened by the second base umpire, but he hung with it and started a 4-6-3 double play. Twins were facing first-year manager Lloyd McClendon, at least his first year with the Mariners. And similarly here, Walt Weiss, former Rookie of the Year winner with the Oakland A's, former World Series winner, former All-Star shortstop, now the manager of the Rockies. Charlie Blackmon leading off the Menards batting order. Drew Stubbs, followed by Carlos Gonzalez, Troy Tulowitzki, Justin Morneau, Nolan Arenado, Willeen Rosario, DJ LeMahieu, and Jorge De La Rosa.
Chris Johnson on the mound for the Twins. Second start for Johnson for the Twins, and as we mentioned before, and Rick Anderson talked about, got really good stuff. He just has to trust it and throw it over. Way too many walks, way too many balls to hitters in his first outing.
Northland Ford defense for the Twins. Eduardo Nunez in left field. Sam Fuld in center. Oswaldo Arcia in right. Trevor Plouffe, Eduardo Escobar, Brian Dozier, Kendrys Morales, the infielders, and Kurt Suzuki behind the plate. See Eduardo Nunez getting the start in left field because, as Ron Gardenhire said, we got in late to the hotel about 4 in the morning after the night game last night, and Josh Willingham is 80 years old. Only half of that is true. Here is Charlie Blackmon, and a first pitch strike. Blackmon heading to target field as a reserve outfielder for the National League in the All-Star game because of some very good numbers. 14 home runs hit out of the leadoff spot. 2 strikes.
50 RBIs from a guy that has the pitcher hitting in front of him the second time around, and he's also stolen 16 out of 20 bases. This might be one of the better players in baseball that not a lot of people know about, but he's had a terrific first half of the season.
And a doink to left for a base hit. A soft single, and Blackmon's aboard, leading off the first inning.
You know, you can get some soft singles in this ballpark, and you see here a little inside-out swing. Haven't seen the left-hander before. Let the ball travel a long way over the plate and inside out and into left. And the reason I say you can get a lot of soft singles, this outfield dimension is gigantic. You look out there, it looks like the lower 40 of a Minnesota farm out there. It's just huge. And people talk about it being a home run ballpark. It's more of just a hit ballpark, in my opinion.
Drew Stubbs takes ball 1. Yeah, that's the first impression I got when I came here 6 years ago, and again this year. You get up here to our booth and you look down, and it just looks enormous.
It is expansive, no question. That's an understatement. And outfielders have to play deep. There's a lot of room in between them.
1-1.
A lot of room between the outfielders and the infielders. It's just a really, really great park to hit it.
Johnson 8-4 with a 2.75 ERA in AAA, an opponent batting average of .214. All the numbers have been good this year. His first Twin start coming back on May 1st against the Dodgers, and I'm not sure how, but he didn't give up a run. He allowed 2 hitters each inning to reach, either with walks or singles or both in some cases, but he never allowed the Dodgers a run. Here's a high blast to left center field. Sam Fuld back and over. It's gone. A home run. And a quick 2-0 start for the Rockies. Stubbs hitting his 10th of the year.
Well, Stubbs gets a fastball in the middle of the plate, and always been a strong kid. We remember seeing him in Cleveland. I've liked his swing, especially against left-handed pitching. He's hitting .350 this year against left-handers, and a good fastball hitter, especially in the middle of the plate. That's right where Chris Johnson threw it, and Stubbs launched it.
Here's Carlos Gonzalez, just off the disabled list. Big swing and a miss. He had an injury to his left index finger. They actually dug around and found a tumor in there, a benign tumor. Removed that, and he has returned now, formerly a left fielder, as a right fielder for Walt Weiss. Fouled back, 2 strikes. Last 11 runs for the Rockies have been scored on home runs here at Coors Field, counting the 2 tonight.
Well, they can hit. There's no question about it. And now that they have Gonzalez back, they're even more formidable. This guy's a terrific player too.
Down low, 1-2.
Been hurt with some injuries in his career, but he's put up huge numbers when he's been healthy. Just a great all-around player. He really is.
Bouncer to short. Escobar has it. And now over to Morales, 1 away. And that'll bring up Troy Tulowitzki.
Tulowitzki, one of my favorite players in baseball. Maybe he's my favorite. You look at these numbers and where he is ranked since 2000 7, but he missed a season in 2012, 47 games. He's been bothered with some injuries too. Had a terrible groin injury they had to surgically repair, but he's been healthy. He puts up eye-popping numbers, and he does it from the shortstop position, which you may find hard to believe, but
well, he's been kind of partial to those guys.
I'm partial to that. This guy is definitely a 5-tool player, and he can run, he can field, he can throw, he can hit for average, hit for power. And usually you talk about 5-tool players as outfielders. You don't normally say this guy's a 5-tool player, and you're talking about a shortstop, because he can play some defense. He can flash the leather at you too. He's just an athletic guy, and just a blast to watch play.
2-0 to Tulowitzki. And a strike.
There are some guys, when you watch them take batting practice, the sound that comes as a result of them contacting the ball with the bat is just different. Stood in a lot of under the stadium batting cages watching guys practice. Kendrys Morales is one of those guys. It's just almost scary how loud the ball is when he hits it.
3-1 with Morneau on deck.
When the Rockies were last in Minnesota, Don Baylor, my good friend Don Baylor, was the hitting coach, and I went down to see Groove and watch him work with his players. And Carlos Gonzalez is one of those guys that makes your eardrums hurt. And Tulowitzki doesn't look like it with his build, but he can absolutely crash the ball.
Another ball grounded to the same spot. This time it's Dozier in a shift, throwing over to Morales. 2 down. Tonight's Cold Hard Facts presented by Frost Brewed Coors Light, and Justin Morneau in a familiar spot on the leaderboard in his league's RBI standings. Giancarlo Stanton with 63, Paul Goldschmidt, and then Adrian Gonzalez and Justin Morneau with 59. Facing a man that ultimately he was traded for. When Morneau was traded in late July last year, Twins got Alex Presley, pitcher, or turned out to be a pitcher, but a player to be named later. And for a brief time, it was a relief pitcher by the name of Duke Welker. And then the Twins, perhaps looking in their system and not seeing enough left-handed starting pitching, essentially switched Welker for Johnson, trading Welker back to the Pirates and getting Johnson instead. And now Johnson's pitching to Morneau. 2-0. And a liner to Escobar. That stung. Morneau hits one right on the button for the 3rd out. A 2-run home run by Drew Stubbs. And the Rockies get the first lead. The Twins have a nice long homestand. might want to check out Target Field Suites. They're available for single game rental for groups of 16 to 96. You can choose from the intimate Premier Suites, the flexible Event Suites, or the spacious Skyline Suite at Target Field. Food and beverage is included in every purchase. You can get more information at 1-800-33-TWINS or go to twinsbaseball.com/groups. Trevor Plouffe, Oswaldo Arcia, and Eduardo Nunez will hit against Jorge De La Rosa of the Rockies. And we told you before that the Twins got to Denver around 3:30, hotel around 4 o'clock. Because of that, they departed from their usual routine, which would be to take some early hitting and get everybody some at-bats at the ballpark, get the outfielders accustomed to tracking fly balls. That's kind of standard operating procedure first day in a visiting city. Well, because of the lateness of the arrival here, Twins didn't do that. Then, as luck would have it, a rain shower came and washed out batting practice.
That would have been a real issue in my day. We didn't have the underneath batting cages in all the ballparks. That they have just wonderful facilities now. Every ballpark we go into, the Twins go into, have terrific batting practice facilities inside.
But I bring it up here because I think Plouffe, one of those guys that enjoys batting practice and seeing how far he can hit the ball. And the Twins here at this wonderful hitter's ballpark really didn't get a chance to get a feel for that before the game today. 2-1 to Plouffe. And he takes ball 3 with Arcia on deck.
And as important, I think it's see if Trevor can get it going, especially against left-handed pitching. He's been so good against left-handers historically and hasn't quite gotten back around to that yet. But the Twins really need him to be one of the guys that hits left-handers well.
And a strike called. He's taken 5 pitches. De La Rosa gave up a 1-out single to Suzuki in the first, but got a ground ball double play from Morales.
Morales hit that ball hard. He continues to sting it. Real good play made by LeMahieu at second base, and also Tulowitzki to avoid the sliding runner. But a nice double play by the Rockies on a hard hit ball.
3-2 to the leadoff man here in the second. Popped up, and Morneau watches it spin back over the dugout, out of play. De La Rosa's won his last 3 decisions, and in each of his wins, the Rockies have given him 8 runs of support. That hit to the gap in left center field. Down for a hit and all the way to the fence. It's at least 2 for Plouffe, and he'll hold up with a leadoff double. So with the exception of Suzuki's hit, which was just a little chip shot into center field, everything has been hit right on the button here against De La Rosa.
I think a low fastball there that Trevor went down and got, drove it hard to the gap, and as we mentioned, it's a big gap in left center as it is in right center.
First left-handed batter that De La Rosa will face is Oswaldo Arcia. Left-handers hitting just 172 against De La Rosa, and he's given up a total of 21 total bases to left-handed batters. Half swing and a chopper foul, 1 strike. The game is played differently here, and for those of us who do what we do up here, you get notes up here that are different than any other ballpark. For instance, did you know that since De La Rosa signed with the Rockies in 2008, the team is 23-1 in games when the Rockies score 8 runs or more? Now, that's not a note you'll read at Target Field.
No, as a matter of fact, I've never seen that media note in any ballpark. And
24 times he's taken the mound, and he's gotten at least 8 runs of support. That's incredible.
You know what? I'll make a comeback as a pitcher. You promise to give me 8 runs a game. I like my chances.
1-1 to Arcia. Swing and a miss, 1-2. Again, Arcia and Fuld are the only left-handed batters, unless Chris Johnson decides to stand in the left-handed batter's box. Nobody's ever seen him hit before.
Watch Arcia swing be out in front of that breaking ball from De La Rosa. I was really hoping that Oswaldo Arcia would watch Robinson Cano carefully in that 4-game series against the Mariners. He fights one off and fights off another 2-strike breaking ball there. And also Justin Morneau in his first at bat. You notice where that line drive that Justin hit was right at the shortstop, back toward the opposite gap. Justin not trying to pull the ball against the lefty. And we mentioned it on the air, when Cano hit against the lefties with the Twins that he hit against, Thielbar and Dunsing, and even late in the game against Perkins, he was not trying to pull the ball.
And Arcia there got a ball that he might have been able to pull, but he fouled it back.
Well, see, that's okay with 2 strikes. I actually like that swing from Arcia, and I'd like to see him do that more often, because against left-handed pitchers, left-hand hitters need to wait a long time and be willing to be jammed on the fastball, be willing to hit the ball left field on the fastball, so that they're not really significantly fooled on anything else, on breaking balls and change-ups. And that's just something that Arcia has not quite gotten to. He's getting a lot better.
Plouffe alertly scampers to third. From second base, he got a pretty good read on that ball thrown in the dirt, and he took off as soon as it hit the dirt.
Yeah, very good read there. He saw it bounce sideways there off of Rosario, and you can see that pretty well from second base, that sideways bounce. You can judge that. When the ball bounces directly behind the catcher softly, you can't always tell if you can get over there or not. But good read by Trevor.
Rockies infield is back. They'll concede a run here and a ground ball. And Arcia takes up high, 3-2.
I guess they're going to concede this run when you know you're going to get 8 for your pitcher.
Can almost give them up one at a time and still win.
Right. One inning at a time. This is a good hitting club and a good hitting ballpark.
Takes a call, 3rd strike. Bent a breaking ball over. 1 down, and that'll bring up Nunez.
So here's what I'm talking about. You have to let this ball travel all the way. He gives up on it there, and you can see his lower half of his body starting to bend toward right field. But you watch, and I think he probably took that for high, and it was on the upper perimeter of the strike zone, but he wasn't in a position to hit it anyway. And you watch Morneau against left-handers, you watch Robbie Cano. Those guys are fighting that pitch off because they're trying to hit the ball to left field against left-handers and not pull it.
Nunez fouls it back, 1 strike. And again, the infield playing back, so a ground ball hit anywhere past the pitcher should get the Twins on the board here. And Nunez keeps hitting with the batting average a tick or 2 above the 500 mark, seemingly throughout the last 3-4 weeks or so.
I've been very, very impressed with Eduardo Nunez's approach at the plate.
Down and in, 1-1.
I just think he's been a real tough out. He hits the ball the opposite field. Speaking of hitting the opposite field, he's driven in some huge runs for the Twins, lining the ball to right field. It just seems like he really has a plan and knows what he's doing. I asked Tom Bernansky about it, the Twins hitting coach, and he said, let me tell you something. This guy is a professional hitter. He is really, really a good offensive player.
Chop to the right side, and Plouffe is going to score. Nunez retired Morneau to the bag, and it's 2-1.
And you can see by that swing right there, he knows that if he hits the ball on the ground out there in the infield someplace, he's got to run for his ball club. And pat on the back from Tom Bernansky to Trevor Plouffe, but he'll also pat Nunez on the back for getting the run in. When you get a run out there, third base with 1 out, you got to get him in.
Base is empty, 2 down, and now Eduardo Escobar. And as we said before, Suzuki's batting average dropped down to 300 hit the bottom and started bouncing back up. That's what the Twins want to see happen with Escobar. It continues to drop. It was well over 300 through the 300 mark, down to 290, 280, 270. Now sitting in the 250s. 1-0. Drilled, foul. Hasn't hit too many balls hard over the last few weeks, and that one, though foul, was hit pretty good.
Compare Escobar and Suzuki. Suzuki being such a much more veteran hitter and has so many more at bats in the big leagues. It's a little bit of rarefied air for Escobar to be in the 300 area. He's never really been known as a real strong offensive player until this year. He's a terrific defensive player at 3 different infield positions, even played some outfield, but he's never really hit all that much. He hasn't had a chance to play all that much to prove whether he can or not. And first time you ever do it, it takes a little getting used to, the fact that how you have to keep your average up there. Suzuki has been there before and doesn't, not panicking. He knows himself better. Escobar doesn't really know himself as a 300 hitter yet.
2-2 to the Twins shortstop. And now full count, Fold on deck. Something's wrong with Escobar. He came out of the box, stood with his hands on his hips, and he seems very distracted. 3-2. Foul back. Now, is he just deep in thought, or is something bugging him?
There's something bugging him, and I don't know if he tweaks something a little bit, like a leg muscle or a rib cage or something, or whether he's just trying to get his plan in his head.
This ball hooked to the left field corner, and there's nothing wrong with his legs. He'll run around first and dig for second. Second double of the inning, this one with 2 outs, and he's looking right away into the Twins dugout, but appears to be okay.
Well, this is a real nice at bat. He gets to 3-2, gets a little breaking ball, and waits just long enough to be able to get the big end of the bat to the ball, hit it down the line for a double. A nice at bat, but I still think you're right, Dick. There's something on his mind here.
Well, it shouldn't be the altitude yet. He was bothered by something before he started running.
Right.
Here's Fold. Number 8 batter with the pitcher batting next. And a base open. We'll see how De La Rosa pitches to Fold. And if you're a number 8 batter, and Ron Gardenhire's talked about it, that's many times where he hit in the Mets lineup when he played in front of the pitcher. You really got to be disciplined, because sometimes you will not get a pitch to hit. You're up there, and Fold wants to get the base hit here to tie the game, but he might not have anything to hit. 2-0.
That's absolutely right. It's a tough spot to hit in, hitting 8th in the National League with the pitcher coming up. The pitchers will and catchers will really work on it. They're just going to go ahead and put him on now, which I think is somewhat surprising. We see he's opposing left-handers are only hitting 172 off of De La Rosa, as you mentioned, and it seems like he would have the kind of control where they could work on him, just throwing something up, breaking balls away and fastballs away, and then if you walk him, and try to let the hitter Sam Fulton get himself out on a tough pitch. But Walt Weiss just, I think, not trusting his pitcher's control, his command quite yet. He doesn't want to risk trying to hit the outside corner fastball that sneaks over the middle and give up a base hit to Fuld, who's been hot lately, even against left-handed pitching. So
Johnson does go into the left-handed batter's box. And he takes a strike. The way it works in the minor leagues, National League teams, American League teams for that matter too, have the option. They can have their pitchers hit if they want. But Rob Antony, the assistant general manager for the Twins on this road trip, wasn't sure whether Johnson had ever swung a bat before in a game. 1-1. When Ron Gardenhire got to the ballpark here early this afternoon, he saw Johnson. Johnson flew in here while the Twins were in Seattle, and Johnson immediately went to the bat rack to grab a bat, which I don't think is a bad thing. At least he can make sure he knows which end to grab in the clubhouse rather than
taking it up there
in the wrong end
yeah.
out in the field.
Yeah.
1 and 2.
Well, he's had 2 takes in a swing that have not looked like it's never happened before.
Okay.
So, just so far he doesn't look totally helpless.
1 and 2 with the tying run at second. And 2 away. And a fastball strikes him out. Twins get a couple of doubles and their first run of the game. Nolan Arenado will lead things off for the Rockies in the second. Colorado team. Justin Morneau, LaTroy Hawkins. On the disabled list on our Sanford Health injury report, Michael Kadire with a fractured left shoulder. 5 home runs, 16 runs batted in. This is his 3rd year with the Rockies. In his first season, he hit .260 with 16 home runs, 58 runs batted in. In his 2nd year with the Rockies, he won the National League batting title at .331, and there's one of the great Twins to ever put on the uniform.
You bet, and really tough break that he sustained that injury. I was talking with him today, and we saw the Sanford Health injury report there. He's going to have an MRI in a week or 10 days and see if it's healed up, if his shoulder's healed up the way they want it to. If so, as Arenado fouls one back, if that's the case and they like the way it looks, he thinks that he can maybe restart a rehab assignment 2nd week in August and salvage 4 or 5 weeks of a season back here to finish the year with the Rockies. So that's what he's really pulling for, and we'll pull for him to get better. just great seeing Michael Day, such a terrific guy and a great leader on this club. I was talking to some of the Colorado coaches, and they talk about
the base hit to left field. Arenado will round first, and that ball will run all the way to the gap. And Arenado rounding second on his way to third, and he's in with a triple.
That right there is a Coors Field triple. There is so much room out there that the outfielders just can't get to what in many ballparks we would be seeing if Sam Fuld could cut that off and hold it to a single. Not a bad pitch. The ball's down from Chris Johnson, but Arenado goes down to get it. Now, in a lot of ballparks, we'd be seeing if they're looking for the center fielder to maybe even be able to cut that off, but there is so much room out there. This ball shoots the gap. Arenado right here realizes he's got a chance to get to third, and he makes it in there pretty easily.
Pretty good rain shower has started here as we begun playing the bottom of the second. Corner infielders up, middle infielders back, and ball one to Willeen Rosario. Rosario with decent offensive numbers as the Rockies catcher. That's down the right field line. And that's a base hit. It's 3-1, and Rosario held to a single. The Rockies well on their way towards supporting De La Rosa with 8 or more runs. They've already got 3 up on the board. That'll bring up LeMahieu.
Ball up and out over the plate, and so far Chris Johnson is throwing strikes better than he had done against the Dodgers earlier in the year, but he's not making the pitches that he wants to make with the strikes. He doesn't have real great command yet. He's actually got 4 pitches. He throws them all. And what we saw against the Dodgers was when he was throwing strikes, they were good quality strikes. Not the case so far here against the Rockies.
The outset we showed you, this ballpark yields a lot of runs. Safeco Field does not. The lineups are different. LeMahieu hitting .275, hitting in the 8th spot for the Rockies, and you got down toward the end of the Mariner lineup, and guys were hitting in the very low 200s. So different ballpark, different lineup. And no, we won't have a 2-0 ball game here tonight. It's already 3-1.
This is shaping up to be slugfest of necessity. We look at the numbers again, and you said correctly earlier, Dick, it's by a wide margin that runs are scored here first over every place else.
1-1.
And you can see why as you watch balls shoot through the gaps and carry pretty well. And Justin Morneau even said it today. He said this is not really the home run hitter's ballpark that everybody thinks it is, or a home run ballpark. It's just there's so many hits out there.
On the outside corner.
People talk about the ball carrying so well, and he said it's not that so much. It's just that there's a lot of hits out there. Once you realize that, you're in better shape than if you think you need to hit the ball out of the ballpark. But I will tell you that the ball carries well here too. That ball Stubbs hit, it was hit very, very well in the first inning, but it carried very, very well also.
Fouled away. When I came out on the field, Justin, one of the players for the Rockies that didn't get a chance to take batting practice. I was looking forward to watching his batting practice. But I saw Morneau, and then I looked out in right center field, and I saw a 10-foot wall instead of a 29-foot wall at Target Field. And I thought, well, there's one reason right there why Justin enjoys hitting in this ballpark more than he enjoyed hitting at Target Field. 1-2, and now 2-2.
Yeah, there's a bigger wall right down the right field line here, but that's fair. You can hit fly balls to right field. There we look at the scoreboard wall, but it's from straightaway right field to the line where it's shorter. In Target Field, it's the 20-foot wall's out there where it says 375.
Another base hit, and the third inning starts with 3 hits for the Rockies, and De La Rosa will be asked to bunt here, one would think. Time now for you to tweet a photo using hashtag North fan photo for a chance to have it shown in an upcoming broadcast brought to you by AT&T. Rick Anderson to the mound. 5 hits in 8 at-bats against Chris Johnson. Rick Anderson with a quick trip to the mound. The Mariners, in a 4-game series, scored a total of 5 runs. And now here are the Rockies with already 3 on the board and 2 men on base. And we're just in the bottom of the 2nd inning. De La Rosa, 5 hits, 30 at bats, 3 sacrifice bunts, 12 strikeouts. And De La Rosa off the plate, 1 strike. There is no element of surprise, and if there isn't, why not get into the bunting position right away?
Absolutely. There's no reason not to. You go ahead and show them that you're going to bunt, because where you want to bunt the balls to the third baseman. This forces a third baseman, in this case Trevor Plouffe, to make a decision right away about whether or not he needs to retreat to third base if either the catcher or the pitcher can field the bunt, or come in and get it. And what any manager will tell you is he will accept whatever decision is as long as they get an out.
There's a good bunt, and Johnson fires to first. Dozier with a stretch. The sacrifice works with Rosario and LeMahieu advancing. Now De La Rosa, bit of a limp going back to the dugout perhaps. Yeah, something on his right leg.
He definitely pulled up there a little bit as he got to first base.
Now the Twins bring the infield in here. 2nd and 3rd, 1 down. Charlie Blackmon singled and scored in the 1st inning.
Blackmon hit the only softly hit ball of the 5 hits. The other 4 hits they've gotten have been drilled pretty well.
Dug out by Suzuki. Rosario, the catcher, is at third base. LeMahieu at second base. When Johnson faced the Dodgers, he didn't quite pitch 5 innings, but he did get 5 strikeouts. He'd love to get one here. Keep this a 3-1 game. Out of the dirt again. 2-0. Johnson has given the Twins their only 2 left-handed starts this year.
You're right. He'd love to have a strikeout here, but he, in any kind of fashion, would like to get Blackmon out. Left-hander on left-hander. They got some tough right-hand hitters coming up behind.
Way out in front. 2-1. Now 3-1 with Stubbs on deck. Three and one. And on the outside corner, 3-2.
Good pitch there. He'd like to have one more just exactly like it. Twins have now moved the middle infielders back at normal depth for a runner on second base. They will concede the runner at third, the run at third base. The corner infielders are playing up to protect against anything real softly, cheaply hit. They don't want to give up that kind of run.
And foul back to the backstop. Rain continuing to fall here at Coors Field. And the Rockies in front of the Twins 3-1. Came inside, got strike 3. 2 down.
Good pitch there. 93-mile-an-hour fastball. It had some good life on it. Late life and late sink. Real good pitch. And there's a good example of the kind of stuff that Chris Johnson has. That'll get any left-hander out right there. That's a good pitch. He hasn't quite thrown enough of those yet.
Everything away, and then Suzuki calls for a fastball in the inside corner. Johnson hits the spot. And now Stubbs cranked a 2-run home run in the first inning. On the outside corner, a strike.
Nice little backdoor breaking ball there.
Ooh.
Cross up there.
Suzuki was lucky to keep that from getting to the backstop or getting hurt.
Or breaking his left wrist, absolutely. He's looking for a breaking ball here. Chris Johnson zips a fastball, and you see how his draw had already dropped his glove, expecting that ball to be down toward the back foot of Drew Stubbs, and the ball came zipping in there at 92 or 93. That could have been to the screen, could have been a broken left wrist. That was dangerous.
1-1 to Stubbs.
And one thing I don't understand, if I'm a middle infielder and I see that's a cross up there, I got to go in and see what sign they're using too. I make sure that I know what pitch is coming.
And they're calling a check swing strike 1-2.
Kurt Suzuki went out there and said, okay, we're not on the same page. Here's what we're using. If I had seen that, if I'd played shortstop or second base as Escobar and Dozier, I'd had to run in there and say, okay, I want to know what's coming too. I could not have played out there in the middle of the infield without knowing what pitch was coming.
Swing and a miss. And Johnson gives up 3 hits and another run, but leaves a couple of men on. You're watching the Twins and Rockies, brought to you by the all-new Chrysler 200. is presented by CenturyLink, your link to what's next. By Northland Ford. Visit northlandford.com and your local Northland Ford dealers today. And by Grand Casino. The best stories start here. 3-1 start for the Rockies as we go to the third inning. Rain has all but stopped here. And Brian Dozier will lead things off for the Twins in the third. The Escobar double with 2 outs in the second, if it did nothing else, got the Twins through the 8 and 9 batters, and now Dozier will be able to lead off the third inning rather than Johnson leading off the inning. Almost a sure out. So we'll see what Dozier does here. He drove a line drive to left, caught by Blackman to start the ball game. I mentioned Justin Morneau still has an outside chance of being named to the National League All-Star squad. Ian Kinsler was today. Another second baseman for the Detroit Tigers with the Victor Martinez, who will be at the All-Star game but won't be participating. And Kinsler ended up being named to fill in Martinez's roster spot. And if that were to happen on the National League side, there's a chance that Morneau would be named to the National League All-Star squad, especially since he's going there anyway.
And especially since he's tied for third in the National League in RBI.
Yes. 2 strikes to Dozier.
And hitting .313.
Pop back and out of play. Dozier, Suzuki, and Morales. De La Rosa, one of 13 different starters for the Rockies this year. And one of their best ones.
They've had some freakish injuries, hand injuries to pitchers. Now, when's the last time you heard of that? One happened, I think, at the plate on a broken bat. One happened on a tag play at home plate.
Another 2-strike pitch to Dozier. In the dirt. Now the Twins, counting Johnson, who's making just his second start this year, the Twins have had 8 starting pitchers. And they have dealt with some injuries to first Mike Pelfrey, then Ricky Nolasco. But Kevin Correa has taken the ball every 5th day. So too Phil Hughes and Kyle Gibson. Here's a ball drilled to left, and Dozier hit the ball hard twice. He's got a base hit.
I just have to laugh. It's not dissimilar to where the first pitch was that he lined out to left. Brian Dozier has one of the best tomahawk high fastball swings that I've seen, and he's having a big time over there with Justin right now. But as you see right here, the point of contact, that's a high fastball, and he gets his front side out of the way in a hurry. There's very good pull down action with his left arm that allows the big end of the bat to get up there to the ball. And I just don't think you can get him out up there very, very often.
Rosario went to the mound and spent his entire walk back behind the plate looking into the Colorado dugout. So I don't know whether De La Rosa did pull something during his at bat or run to first, and whether there's some concern here, but we'll keep an eye on it. And there's strike 1 to Suzuki.
Well, he pulled up short-legged a little bit as he neared first base after bunting the ball. So something went on with his leg, that's for sure. It's dangerous to go out there and try to pitch when your legs throw off your normal motion. You can hurt your arm that way.
And the dirt dug out nicely by Rosario. At least a couple of scouts here tonight looking at De La Rosa for a possible trade involving De La Rosa to come over to a contending team. Rockies are not that. They've lost 32 of their last 45 games. One and one to Suzuki, and a ball
just wide of the bag. Suzuki slicing one right up the base path.
Ball kind of down and in that Kurt really inside outed right there with that swing and almost came away with a double for his effort.
One and two. De La Rosa got ahead of Dozier and then it ended up giving a base hit. Well, Suzuki battling him with Dozier at first. Down and away.
We talked about what it takes to get on top of a high fastball. Watch Brian Dozier's left arm. You see how that clears and down to his left rib there. So it's a movement down with his arm. If that elbow flies at all, you can't get the big end of the bat to it. But when the elbow moves down and toward your rib like that, the big end of the bat jumps right up there to the ball.
Fouled by Suzuki. Gardenhire saying that he wanted to give Suzuki a day off today, but really wanted Suzuki to work with Chris Johnson. Thought better of it. Decided to give Suzuki a day off tomorrow. Twins have two other catchers on the roster right now, Eric Fryer and Chris Herman. 2-2. Lifted to right. Playable for Gonzalez. And one down. Tomorrow, a full day of MLB action, beginning with the Twins taking on the Rockies on Fox Sports North, along with National League Central rivals Cardinals taking on the Brewers on Fox Sports 1. Then it's baseball night in America on Fox, with the Pirates taking on the Reds. Our MLB doubleheader begins tomorrow at 2:30 p.m. Central on Fox Sports North and Fox Sports 1. Continuing at 6 p.m. Central on Fox and streaming live on Fox Sports Go. Here's Kendrys Morales. Ball one. Morales hit a hard one hopper to LeMahieu. And LeMahieu, even though second base umpire Mark Ripperger screened him a little bit, stayed with it. Started a 4-6-3 inning-ending double play.
Very nice double play started by LeMahieu.
1-0 to Morales. Just one home run for Morales so far, but now the average climbing up into the 230s before game time. Bouncer to right, a base hit. Dozier rounding second. He'll try for third. Gonzalez's throw right on the money to get him. A perfect throw from Carlos Gonzalez to Nolan Arenado. And we'll see if the Twins challenge this.
Joe Vavra wants him to. I saw him say to Brian Dozier, here, you stay right here for a minute, but watch this throw by Gonzalez. Rockies are delighted to have him back. Tagged him high. Oftentimes umpires will call him safe. The foot gets in there before the glove gets down to the hip. We'll have to see the definitive look as to whether he, and there it is. The thumbs down sign to Ron Gardenhire means that Sean Harlan, the Twins video coordinator, saw that the tag, although high, was applied before Dozier's foot got to the base.
Twins were 2 for 2 in challenging plays in the ball game last night in Seattle.
Great throw here, and you can see the tag getting down. Arenado makes a really nice quick tag right straight down, gets it on Ryan's hip before his foot gets to the base. Good shot of it there.
And now Plouffe. Up and away, ball one.
I was talking earlier about Gonzalez and what a terrific player he has been when he's healthy, and good example of it. He's a terrific hitter, but also a great outfielder. Has a great arm. He showed it off there.
Hits are even at 5 apiece. Plouffe's double led off the second inning, and he later came around to score the lone Twins run so far. Twins haven't played here since 2008, so of course Trevor playing here for the first time. Fouled back, 2-1. Twins starting the ball game with some power on the bench. Parmalee, Colabello, Willingham all starting the game on the bench. Twins with 3 singles and a couple of doubles so far. Pulled to third. Arenado goes the short way, and the Twins get a couple of singles, don't score in the top of the third. By a pair.
Well, they sure did waste any time. Bottom of the first inning, Drew Stubbs with a bomb to left center field, a 2-run home run to put him up 2-0. Then with Trevor Plouffe on third base in the third inning, Eduardo Nunez drives him in with an infield ground ball. And after Arenado had tripled, then Rosario lined a single to right field to score Arenado, and that's where we are. It's 3-1 here as we go to the bottom of the third.
Chris Johnson will face Carlos Gonzalez, Troy Tulowitzki, and Justin Morneau here in the third inning.
How about that throw from this guy the first time he plays right field in Coors Field after just coming off his rehab assignment?
Hit a ground ball to short his first time up, and he gets another base hit. And Johnson has yielded 6 hits already in the first 12 at bats. And now Troy Tulowitzki. Look at the 2005 first round picks.
How about this draft? Look at these names.
Yeah.
Justin Upton, Alex Gordon, Ryan Zimmerman, Ryan Braun, Ricky Romero, Tulo, Pelfrey, Cameron Maybin, McCutcheon, Jay Bruce. Big name players in the big leagues from one draft in the first 12 picks. I think you'd be hard pressed to find one that rivaled that. I'm sure that draftniks will be able to contradict me because I don't follow it that closely, but I see that draft right there, and that's astonishing to me.
A couple of league MVPs there, and perhaps future MVPs. 1-0 to Tulowitzki. Johnson's had a tough time here tonight. He's been throwing almost all his pitches from the stretch. Leadoff single in the first, leadoff triple in the second, now a leadoff single in the third.
Well, these Rocky players can hit. There's no question about it. And you have to make really, really good quality pitches all the time to get them.
Popped up, right field.
That's not exactly a pop-up.
Gone. A 2-run home run.
Kid is some kind of strong. You just don't you don't look at him and see the classic home run power body, but he has some kind of life in that bat of his. Hit the ball out anywhere in any ballpark. And you see it right here. Fastball up and out over the plate, and it did when it left the bat, Dick. You're right. It looked like he.
I thought he hit it off the end of the bat.
It looked like he popped it up, but he got the big barrel of the bat to it, and he's so strong. He's able to drive it out in the seats in right field.
Ground ball and into the shift. Dozier in short right field. Throws to Morales. And Morneau is retired.
Now, I do believe that ball carried better than it would in most ballparks. I really do. I'm not saying that that's a cheap home run, but that was a fly ball to right field that had an awful lot of carry on it. But that young man is just a terrific player, Tulowitzki.
5-1, and now Arenado, who started the second inning with a triple and scored. Strike on the outside corner. Walt Weiss, who was a very good defensive shortstop in his day, primarily with the Oakland A's, has said of Arenado that he is the best fielding third baseman he has ever seen.
Wow.
He had a pretty good one, and Carney Lansford just went back to the mound, and Johnson throws to first, 2 down. Take another look at Tulowitzki's drive to the opposite field that cleared the wall by plenty.
And look at where the pitch is. He got the fat part of the bat on it, but the ball up and out over the plate, and look at the point of contact. You see it, it's right in the sweet spot of the bat. He's underneath it just a little bit, but if you look on the right side of the screen, that is the classic power stroke right there. And when you get in that position, when you make contact with the ball in the fat part of the bat, you've got a real good chance.
Bouncer to short. Johnson's gotten a lot of ground ball outs, but he's also given up a lot of hits and a couple of home runs. It's 5-1.
Fox Sports North is presented by the all-new Chrysler 200 with available all-wheel drive, America's import. Dick Bramer and Roy Smalley bringing you the final series, the start of the final series in a National League ballpark this year. The last time the Twins pitchers will have to hit. Troy Tulowitzki with a home run. Drew Stubbs has hit one. And the Twins find themselves down 5-1. Oswaldo Arcia will lead off the fourth. Arcia called out on strikes his first time up. Nunez and Escobar will follow. Strike on the outside corner. De La Rosa's taken his turn every 5 days, roughly. The only remaining member of the original rotation for the Rockies, and as we suggested, now there are thoughts that perhaps the Rockies will trade him to a contending team. 1-1. And Arcia to third. Arenado has it. And an awful off-balance throw, and it got to Morneau almost on 2 hops. He still got him. What happened?
Well, we're told here that that the first base position is really right in the sun field this time of day at Coors Field, and I actually think that Arenado did that in order for Justin to see the ball. And after he caught that ball, he pointed his glove out to Arenado, did Justin Morneau, as if to say, thank you, buddy, for not throwing it up there in my eyes where I couldn't see it very well.
You can see the sun right there. That's what Morneau's looking at, and you can see him with the sunglasses on over at first as well. 1 down, and now Nunez takes low, ball 1. Don't believe he started the game with those sunglasses on.
Nope. That would be hard to look at.
Up and away, 2-0.
Great shot that we had there. The sun shining past the bleachers and down the left field line. That would be ugly for a first baseman to look at.
Nunez drove in the Twins' run with a chopper to Morneau. Fly ball down the right field line, chased by Gonzalez. Nice sliding catch. He's taking to right field rather well, I'd say.
Nothing to it when you're that kind of athlete. He's just a good baseball player. And he goes into this slide. He's in total control. He goes in the slide just because he's getting close to the fence. He knows where he is. But why continue to run? Let's start slowing down right now. And it's just a casual catch on the seat of his pants.
Pop-up slide with a catch in the middle.
No problem.
2 down, and here's Eduardo Escobar. Hooked a double into the left field corner. Ball 1. Fouled back. 1-1. Twins season ticket holders enjoy 10% off concessions and merchandise at Target Field all season long. 2014 season tickets remain available for what's shaping up to be a fun summer of baseball at Target Field. Call 800-33-TWINS or visit twinsbaseball.com and find out how you can join the Twins season ticket family. 2-1. De La Rosa staked to an early lead once again, 5-1. Backhanded by Arenado.
on the fly, showing off his arm. A good play to get Escobar. The Twins go down 1-2-3. Stay tuned for this important message from Mesher and Spence. Version of our carsoup.com trivia question. Who scored the first run in Coors Field history?
I'm going to say Eric Young.
Okay.
First base coach for the Rockies now.
LeMahieu will lead off the fourth inning against Chris Johnson. And another leadoff hit. Johnson just can't seem to get that leadoff man out and has been pitching from the stretch pretty much all night long. Ended up, I guess, pitching from the full windup after the home runs that have been hit, but he'd like to be able to get that leadoff man out, and he hasn't been able to do so. De La Rosa will probably be asked to bunt again.
And here's a situation. If I'm Trevor Plouffe, I am right down his throat.
There goes the runner in a stolen base attempt. And the ball bunted foul.
LeMahieu just throwing his head back in frustration, and he had that base stolen standing up, and I don't know if there was a missed sign by the pitcher who was just expecting to bunt. You can see the frustration on LeMahieu's face right there. He's saying, I mean, even if you don't have the sign right, take it. I got such a great jump, just take it. Then you bump me over.
And now Johnson throws over.
But you can take a look at where Trevor Plouffe is, and in this situation, I would be 10 feet further closer to the to home plate and ready to charge. The chances of him slashing the ball, the pitcher slashing it by you, are remote. I'd be charging right here.
And now they've got him picked off. Morales' throw right on the bag. Johnson throwing to Morales, who let it fly to Escobar and threw it right on the bag for the pickoff.
Yeah, did a very nice job there. You'll see he comes and reaches the ball and fires a strike to Escobar, the shortstop. That's what the first baseman needs to do. He has to come off the bag and come and get to the ball as soon as he can. And then miss the runner with his throw. Give the shortstop a good throw with which he can tag him out.
2 strikes now to the pitcher. And De La Rosa's retired 2 down.
Not exactly sure what LeMahieu was doing there. going on first move for sure, and caught him by surprise the first time. And kind of surprised that he didn't take a look at the move on the second pitch. He just went on the first movement both times, and after that first one, I think there's a pretty good chance the pitcher's going to throw over there, do something.
Here's Charlie Blackmon, single, a run scored, and a strikeout. And Johnson delivers strike one. I think we can say this about Johnson. He doesn't look nearly as overwhelmed as he might have looked against the Dodgers. He had some serious control issues. He hasn't walked anybody. He's given up a whole bunch of hits. Here's a tall pop-up near first base. Morales with the catch. In the fourth, Johnson faces just 3 men.
Pepsi fans of the game, and there are a lot of Twins fans here in Denver to take in this game and maybe this series this weekend. It's our Pepsi fans of the game, and Sam Full will lead it off here in the fifth for the Twins. Guys, he's reached base now in 10 of his last 12 plate appearances. I talked to Sam this afternoon about his confidence at the plate, and he said right now it's the best he's felt since coming back from that concussion at the plate. He's got good confidence of what he needs to do, and he said he loves hitting this ballpark because of what Roy talked about earlier. There is so much room to spray the ball, and Sam Full's a guy that can pull the ball, as we see right there. He can also take it the other way, and Sam talked about how deep the outfielders play, how much room there is in the gaps and the lines, and he said he loves hitting here at Coors Field.
Well, we'll see if he can get on base again here. Thank you very much, Kevin. It'll be Fuld leading off the fifth, and then Chris Colabello is going to hit in the pitcher spot with Samuel DeDuno warming up in the Twins bullpen. Fuld eventually was intentionally walked his first time up, and he takes low, ball one. Escobar had doubled with 2 outs, and with Chris Johnson due to hit next, the Rockies just decided to go ahead and intentionally walk Fuld. Missing again, 2-0.
As it was when Escobar had doubled, they did give him 2 shots at getting Fuld out, went to 2-0, and then manager Walt Weiss decided to just go ahead and walk him and not try to get Sam to hit something off the plate.
And now a strike. Chris Colabello will pinch hit for Chris Johnson.
Tough timing for Colabello, really starting to swing the bat well, and the decision here against a left-handed pitcher is it's either going to be Morales or Colabello at first base without the DH in effect here. As Fuld grounds it to second for the first out, but Colabello really swinging the bat well, and I'm sure that it was tough for Gardy to not put him in the lineup, but you see in the last 6 games he's just really pounding the ball very, very well. but nowhere else to play the two of them. You only play one of them at first base, and Morales got the nod.
Colabello will make just the one plate appearance here. It comes with the bases empty and one out in the fifth. Inside, ball one. That's hit to right. Coming in is Gonzalez, out number 2. And that'll bring up Dozier. Now you look up and De La Rosa's retired 6 men in a row. Dozier with a liner to left and a line drive single to left. Fox Tracks presented by Chrysler.
Let's watch where through Fox Tracks, watch where these pitches are. I can't believe he's going to throw him any more high fastballs.
Down low, ball one.
And, you know, as you get more experience as a hitter, you can actually set up pitchers after getting 2 line shots to left field on high fastballs. Pretty good bet you're going to see more breaking balls here for strikes than you are a fastball from the middle of the plate in.
1-1.
So you can go up there and look for a breaking ball in this situation, probably get one and nail that one too. If you hit that one hard, then you can go back to the fastball. Pitchers would rather throw you fastballs and breaking balls if they feel like they can get away with it. But if you show them you can hit the fastball, they're going to throw you some breaking balls, and you're going to have to then prove you can hit that before they go back to the fastball.
Two and one to Dozier with 2 gone in the Twins' 5th.
Trying to go away from him.
3-1, Suzuki on deck.
And he missed all the way back across the plate. You could see Rosario setting up where I thought they would probably try to pitch Brian if they wanted throwing fastballs out on the outside part of the plate. But De La Rosa, not the best command with his fastball either. That was all the way across the strike zone.
Full count. The only walk issued by De La Rosa was the eventual intentional walk to fold in the 2nd inning.
And Brian can't assume he's going to get a fastball here, 3-2.
Lifted foul. Chased by Morneau, but it's out of play. Dozier will have his brother pitch to him in the home run derby on Monday.
And I wish his brother all the very, very best. I hope that he's practicing hard and is confident that he can throw the ball over the plate to Brian, because I think pitching to the guy has got to be the way more difficult of the 2 tasks than hitting in the home run derby. I don't see how you can not be nervous as a cat out there trying to help your guy succeed.
Dozier driving it down the line, but a foul ball. Morneau, of course, won the home run derby a few years ago. He had Joe Vavra pitch to him when he won the home run derby, beating Josh Hamilton.
And I know Joe was a bit nervous too, but you know, Joe's been a player and a big league coach, and a little bit more equipped, you would think, on the surface of it than Brian's brother, the accountant, to come out of retirement and throw him strikes in the home run derby with billions of people watching.
And Dozier rolls a single through the left side. He's hit the ball hard all 3 times.
I just don't understand that. Why you would just keep throwing him high fastballs. But keep doing it. Brian's just going to keep getting hits. Here is again, almost the same pitch. And again, you see that left arm pulled down and across his body, allows him to get the big end of the bat to that high fastball. Brian does that very well. I don't understand De La Rosa's thinking there about why didn't throw him A, more breaking balls, and B, if you want to throw him a fastball, throw it down and preferably away. Other than the fact that I just don't think he has great command of his fastball today.
Suzuki again slicing one foul up the first baseline. You can see the pitch count for De La Rosa. 52 strikes. One and one.
I was glad to hear Kevin Gorg talk about what Sam Fuld said about this ballpark and the gaps. I look out there at the outfielders who all are playing relatively straight away, and it seems like an enormous distance between them, and much more distance between the outfielders than I'm used to seeing sitting up here. It just looks. Is it just me, or
no,
does it look like they're a long ways away from each other?
Again, they have to play deeper here, and the splits are wider because of that. 1 and 2. And fouled off a leg.
Oh, and that got him really, really hard, too. I can attest, I used to do that a lot, and I can tell you that is painful. If you get it just right on the ankle or just above, I can't tell you how much that hurts, and you lose the ability to stand on it. You lose the feeling in your lower leg there. This really doesn't look good. You see a slider running down and in on Kurt. He hits over the top of it, and it got him just right on the ankle bone.
Yeah.
And I've actually done that before, where it hit me there, and my foot with the weight on it actually turned over, and I sprained my ankle. And when the bone bruise healed, I was still trying to get over a sprained ankle from it turning over in the batter's box.
Suzuki's going to get up and try to put some weight on it. More than the .307 batting average he brought into this game. More than anything else, the thing that has impressed, I think, everybody is he is tough as nails. And he's going to get the bat from his manager and say, all right, now go back in the dugout and let's play.
Here's another look at that slider running down and in, and you see he tries to get the big end and just hits over the top, and that is a direct shot on that ankle. And you mentioned how tough he is, and he is a tough guy, and for him to be down this long and he's still bent over trying to get back in the batter's box. You know that was really solid contact and pain for him to take this long to get the jump back in there.
1 and 2 to Suzuki. And he lifts it to right center field and gingerly runs toward first. Suzuki still hurting in the inning end. You're watching the Twins and Rockies, brought to you by the all-new Chrysler 200.
Twins fans, don't forget at Twins home games, you bring your Circle Me signs, and if you get circled, you may find yourself in the Minnesota Lottery winner's circle, where you could win $100 worth of lottery scratch-off tickets, courtesy of the Minnesota Lottery.
I don't know why I thought of it now. Guy there watching the Twins with the Viking shirt on. Former Viking head coach Mike Tice was in Seattle visiting with manager Ron Gardenhire. I think it was Wednesday night. Well, Samuel DeDuno comes out of the Twins pen. He will face Drew Stubbs, Carlos Gonzalez, Troy Tulowitzki, and his catcher will be Kurt Suzuki. Suzuki fouling a ball off the inside of his left ankle. And Stubbs, who hit a 2-run home run in the first and then struck out in the second, will lead things off against DeDuno. Stubbs, Gonzalez, Tulowitzki, with the Twins already down by 4. Strike call. Missing the inside corner, 1-1. DeDuno's done well in this role, where games after 3-4 innings of, sometimes after 2 innings, have not gone well for the Twins, and he's put zeros up and given the Twins a chance to get back into the game. This one lined to left, and Nunez goes to a knee to make the catch, 1 away. And that'll bring up Gonzalez. Gonzalez with a bouncer to short and a single and a run score.
Samuel DeDuno has indeed done very well in this role, and I was a little bit surprised, because as a starting pitcher, we know about the issues that he's had with control. He's got that great stuff. His fastball moves all over the place. He's got a great curveball, throws it at 2 speeds. So the Twins were hoping that he would be a real good starting pitcher, and the only thing that prevented him from being so is just fighting the strike zone a little bit. What made them think that he would be able to come out of the bullpen and find the strike zone, I don't know, but he has been able to do that very well.
Foul tip, I think, got Suzuki, or did that get home plate umpire Paul Nart? At any rate, 2 strikes now to Gonzalez. One and 2. Johnson went just 4 innings, threw 57 pitches, 8 hits, 5 earned runs. About the only thing good that happened is he didn't walk anybody. And a strikeout of Gonzalez, and Suzuki will throw to first, 2 down. And that'll bring up Troy Tulowitzki, the captain of the National League home run hitting team at Target Field, and he's heating up himself.
He is heating up. Hit his 21st home run here earlier. This guy can hit him out anywhere. Such an accomplished hitter. Such life in his bat. And that ball, as you called, was popped up. It looked like, but strong enough, had enough barrel on it to carry out of right field for a home run. I really like watching this guy play.
Well, I don't know whether that quotation marks pop-up would have cleared the fence in right field at Target Field.
Well, let me tell you something. In the home run derby, he won't be hit him that way.
I'm trying to give the fans who have seats down that right field line for the home run derby some encouragement that a right-handed hitter might pop one over there, because there's only one left-handed hitter in the competition, and that's Morneau. 2 strikes.
Justin will hit plenty of them in those seats and beyond. I guarantee you, he will have his pull swing going, and I would think that I expect Justin to acquit himself very, very well in that home run derby.
Just off the corner. DeDuno thought he might have clipped the outside corner. 1 and 2. Just off the plate.
He was trying to come back. A little ball that was moving in toward the plate. Great curveball there.
DeDuno with a great 5th inning. And the Rockies go down 1-2-3, but still lead 5-1. Have scored 5 times now on FoxSportsNorth.com. Twins officials tell Tyler Mason they're ready and excited to showcase Minnesota and Target Field to the nation. That story and more All-Star Game coverage at FoxSportsNorth.com/All-Star Game. Kendrys Morales will lead off the 6th against Jorge De La Rosa. Morales, Plouffe, and Arcia. The Twins need some sort of a jolt to get back in the game here. Morales has hit the ball hard twice. A smash that went for a ground ball double play and then singling in the 3rd. Outside, ball 1. Two and 0.
Morales continues to swing the bat well, as he has over the last 4 or 5 games, and hitting the ball back up the middle and the opposite way, the way you were talking about him earlier.
Big swing on an off-speed pitch. 2-1.
Decided to cheat on a fastball a little bit there. It was way out in front of a breaking ball. But as we said, for the most part, Morales will use the whole field, and as he heats up and gets really, really into the zone, you'll see more and more balls pulled and more balls pulled deep.
Popped up down the right field line. Gonzalez with the catch, 1 away. That'll bring up Plouffe. Cleveland beat the White Sox 7-4. And Detroit leading Kansas City 2-1 in the 8th inning at Kauffman Stadium. The Oakland A's are leading King Felix and the Seattle Mariners 2-0 in the 2nd. Blue fouls it to the backstop.
You know, you're talking about the standings and the games in the American League Central. The Twins are only 3 games out in the loss column of 3rd place. It's still in the Central Division, only 5 games in the loss column out of 2nd. And they have yet to really put a run of games together where they win 12 out of 15 or something. If they could do that, and I believe they can with the pitching that they are starting to get, the starting pitching, and we know the bullpen is good. They can catch the ball if they can get Santana back, get Mauer back, get Willingham and Morales swing the bat well at the same time. They could very easily go on a run that jumps them right back into this thing.
That's why I think this series, coming off the Seattle series and to a larger extent the homestand after the break, really important for the Twins on so many levels. You want to be able to feel you can get back to the 500 mark and maybe be a factor yet in the second half of the season, but you have a lot of work to do to get to the 500 mark.
There's a lot, no question.
A lot of home games coming up right after the break. Bloof on a half swing is struck out number 2. That'll bring up Arcia. Twins fans, you can get your tickets now for the July 19th game against Tampa Bay at Target Field. The first 10,000 fans will pick up a new pair of Twins branded headphones presented by Delta Airlines. Call 800-33-TWINS or visit twinsbaseball.com and get your tickets. Here is Arcia. Called out on strikes and then a ground ball to third. 0 for 2 for Arcia. Over the Twins dugout, 1 strike. Missed 2 strikes.
We're seeing Arcia trying to be more in the center of the field. He fouled the first pitch off to his left, which means he was a little late, trying to wait on the ball, trying not to be fooled by a breaking ball. He was late on that fastball, but that's a different look from him than the way out in front that we're used to seeing.
Dribbler to the right side. LeMahieu. Over to Morneau and a 1-2-3-6 for Jorge De La Rosa.
It's going to be a little different, a little weird looking across and seeing that uniform and those faces that I know so well. And obviously when it comes down to it, it's between the white lines and you got to find out a way to win the game. But I'm sure it's going to be a little different, obviously stepping in the box and all that kind of stuff. I think if Joe was behind the plate, it would be really weird. But you know, so there's a few new guys over there, a few new faces, and all that kind of stuff. So, you know, but in the end, it's a team that I know well and guys that I know well. So we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, it would be different, wouldn't it, if Joe Mauer were catching and Morneau was at the plate?
I thought about that. I thought that would be a very, very strange occurrence for both of those guys.
1 strike to Morneau, 0 for 2 so far against the Twins, facing Deduno. And Deduno knocks it down, has plenty of time to make the play, 1 away. 4 up, 4 down for Deduno. Of course, this is a different situation here. There's a chance this could be Deduno's last inning of work here. The pitcher spot is due up 4th in the 7th inning, and where we've seen Deduno excel, maybe going 4 innings and putting up a whole bunch of zeros, he might have a chance to pitch just 2 innings here. Here is Arenado.
Well, that is manager Ron Gardenhire's fervent hope. I will tell you that he gets to pinch hit for Deduno next inning.
And Dozier has no play. A soft line drive over his head into right field. A 1-out single. And that'll bring up Rosario. All-Star Fan Fest continues tomorrow at the Minneapolis Convention Center. And a look at the schedule of events at the Fox Sports North booth. Open from 9 till 8 tomorrow. Got a chance to win admission to the Home Run Derby, sponsored by Gillette on Monday. All-Star Live from Fan Fest at 12 o'clock. Twins Live from Fan Fest at 2 p.m. A lot of attractions at Fan Fest, and even if you don't have a ticket to the game, you can enjoy some of the All-Star experience at Fan Fest. Jolene Rosario. Down and away, ball 1. Rosario singled, got as far as third base in the 2nd inning, and then finished the 3rd inning with a bouncer to short. Big swing and a miss.
There was one group of Colorado Rockies that got to take batting practice today before the game, before the rains arrived. Rosario was in that group. I heard his teammates calling him Bull. Could see why that he got that nickname. He's a big, strong dude and has been a very, very good home run hitting catcher for the Rockies, and one of the premier home run hitters for catchers in either league, actually.
Nice opportunity for Deduno here, who was originally drafted by the Rockies and actually made his major league debut for Colorado back in 2010. Looks like he'll get a ground ball double play here. And a couple of good innings for Deduno against his former team. You're watching the Twins and Rockies, brought to you by the all-new Chrysler 200.
See where Toyota takes you. Test drive one at your Toyota dealer. Toyota, let's go places. By Sanford Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, for the everyday competitor in all of us. And by McDonald's. Stop in all summer for a cool, refreshing McCafe iced coffee, starting at just $1.59.
All the scoring in the first 3 innings, and now a 5-1 Rocky lead handed over to left-hander Rex Brothers.
Rex Brothers' strikeout capability, 37 strikeouts in 38 innings. Walks way up there, which is part of the problem. But he, when he has not pitched well, but he has pitched well the last 14 or 15 innings or so.
Grand Casino story of the game with the Rockies striking first.
Bottom of the first inning with a guy on, Drew Stubbs crashes one into the left center field seats to take a 2-0 lead, and Willeen Rosario would drive in another run. Too low.
A pop-up.
A pop-up to right field. In the seats. Pop-up to the third row and right center field seats. And that accounted for the Rockies' 5 runs. In the meanwhile, De La Rosa pitched very, very well for the 6 innings that he was in there, and now we have Brothers on for the Rockies.
Eduardo Nunez takes outside ball 1. Nunez drove in the Twins' run with a ground ball in the second, hit a foul fly, and Gonzalez made a nice sliding catch on the warning track in the 4th. 1-1. Again, the pitcher spot due up 4th this inning. Nunez, Escobar, and Fold will hit. And then if need be, someone would hit for Deduno. 2-1. Matt Guerrero warming up in the Twins pen. Twins would like to trim a run or 2 or 3 off this Colorado lead in the hopes of getting the Colorado closer into the game. And there too another familiar face with Troy Hawkins. 17 saves for the Rockies. 2-2.
These first 3 hitters for the Twins would like to work real hard to get themselves on base so that they pitch hit for the pitcher here then in this inning.
Mayhew over to Morneau, 1 away. And that'll bring up Escobar.
And at the same time get something going. Maybe score a run or 2. Get within striking distance. Get within a pop up over the fence. Home run of tying the game up.
Escobar doubled into the left field corner and then hit a bouncer to third. Fox Tracks presented by Carrier. At the knees, a strike. And now 2 strikes. Just in case, he's got a bat right next to him, but the only way the pitcher spot would be due up here would be if there was a man on base, and then I think the Twins need to take a shot with somebody else. Willingham on the bench.
You know, you can tell a lot by body language. Deduno's sitting there with a bat next to him. They look like strangers.
It's there, just maybe by coincidence.
And if there's any communication between animate and inanimate objects, the conversation has to be something like, please don't take me up there. And Deduno saying, you know, I'm going to try not to. I don't want to.
Even the pitchers for the Twins, who might never swing a bat, have bats made for them. I would guess that, you know.
You should see the difference in the wood in the bats that the pitchers get, and let's say Joe Mauer gets in the bat.
Foul back. I mean, they had their names, burned into the barrel and everything.
Like they're real hitters.
Like they're real hitters. 2 strikes to Escobar. Hanging tough. It's the second time he's fouled the ball off that left foot in this at bat. At least Suzuki got all the misery out of the way on one foul ball. This is the second time Escobar's banged one against his foot.
Suzuki and Willingham talking about where they've hit balls off of their ankles in the past. No hitter is immune to that. You don't like doing it, but you almost can't help it 3 or 4 or 5 times during the season.
Nearly did it again.
Yeah, that's not fair. Guy whacks it off his foot there twice, and now they keep coming in there with that same slider down and in.
I don't know how that missed his front foot. Something different. You could see the catcher Rosario put the mid up high.
He did that because they just wanted to. Here's what I'm going to think. Here's how cynical I am. I think they show him that one up there and then come right back down in there looking for ankles again. Now he's going away with it.
Another foul back. Well, it's been a good battle for Escobar, albeit a painful one.
Especially with your dogs barking like that.
9 pitches in the at bat, but the count is just 1 and 2. So there have been 6 2-strike fouls by Escobar. And now 2 and 2. Chris Herman wrested the bat away from Samuel DeDuno. No, it's a different bat, I guess. And a good at bat. Escobar with a line drive to center after a whole bunch, a half dozen 2-strike fouls, and he gets his second hit of the ball game.
Curveball and stays right in the middle of the plate for him, and that's doing him a real favor after all those balls diving down and in. He meaning Brothers had plenty of opportunity to keep throwing it down in there. But he threw one right in the middle, and Escobar gets rewarded. Real tough at bat. Getting a base hit, and he gets to visit with Justin over there.
Watching Ron Gardenhire, I think he's trying to get 2 different hitters ready to hit. Only one will, of course, but I think if Fold reaches, he'll reach down and get Josh Willingham to hit with a couple of men on base, and maybe if Fold doesn't reach, it would be Chris Herman trying to read his arm motion here. And now 1-1 to Fold. Fold in his last 13 plate appearances has reached 10 times, and the Twins would love to get the number 8 batter up. Willingham has taken the on deck circle. Swing and a miss, 1-2. Somebody has to be there, but if Fold is retired, we may see a switch before Willingham gets to the plate. Here's DeDuno with bat in hand, more importantly, batting gloves on.
And a helmet in his hand, so he's ready.
And a base hit for Fold. A sharp single, and Willingham will have his chance. Fold with another time on base, 2 more times out of 3 plate appearances here. Now 11 for 14 in reaching base.
Stays with that breaking ball really, really well. And again, Brothers throwing one right in the middle of the plate. He's done that 2 hitters in a row with 2 strikes. Result has been 2 singles.
And now Walt Weiss to the mound, and he's going to make a pitching change. Adam Ottavino been warming up. It looks like he's going to be brought in here to face Josh Willingham. Twins making some noise from the bottom of their batting order. 2 on with 1 out and a pitching change for the Rockies. Appearance of the year. Can you beat the best? Join millions of players now on the only official Home Run Derby mobile game from MLB.com. Square off against your friends from around the world, live in multiplayer derby mode, and climb to the top of the leaderboards. Download today for free on the Apple App Store and Google Play. Chance for Willingham to do some damage against Adam Ottavino. Doesn't give up many home runs, doesn't walk many people. The Twins will take one or the other here with Dozier in the on-deck circle.
Great strikeout to walk ratio there. That's very, very important for a reliever. Leads the Rockies in strikeouts and holds out of the bullpen. See if Josh can get something done against him.
Off the plate outside, ball 1. 94th game for the Rockies and Ottavino's 45th game. Almost half of his team's games. Mayhew scampered to second. No pickoff move, and then Ottavino stepped off the rubber.
I think Josh called timeout. There's nothing worse than standing there when the pitcher holds the ball that long in the stretch. He goes into a stretch, you get into your stance, and then he holds it a long time. And you stand there with Josh hands up high like that. He's standing there too long and asks for time.
1-1. Mentioned Willingham has not been used as a pinch hitter this year. Twins pinch hitters, just 5 hits in 43 at bats and only 3 runs batted in. Breaking ball over for strike 2. No Twins pinch hitters hit a home run. Best Twins pinch hitter this year has been Danny Santana, and he's on the disabled list. 2 for 2 with 2 runs batted in. 1-2 to Willingham. 2-2.
Good take by Josh there on a pretty sharp little slider, a little slurvy slider that Ottavino has. He's thrown him some good ones, and we've seen Josh out in front and swinging and missing a lot of those down and away sliders. Pretty good 2-strike take right there.
Got him. Breaking ball. Willingham cut through it, 2 away.
Here it is again in a real good spot, and that's just the pitch that's been giving Josh an awful lot of trouble as he anticipates fastball, gets out in front of it, spins off of it a little bit, and can't react to the slower speed and the break down and away from him.
Dozier with 2 hits and 3 at-bats, both of them pulled to left, both of them on high fastballs. In his first at-bat, he lined out to left on a high fastball.
Well, if Rosario's been paying attention, I think he's going to throw him some of those sliders he just threw to Willingham. And it was a high fastball down the road.
What strike?
You got me. Ottavino with good stuff. 94-mile-an-hour fastball there, and the good breaking balls that we saw to Willingham. So understandable why he's got a lot of strikeouts, a lot of holds, why manager Walt Weiss gets him in the game.
Strike 2. So he's seen the 94-mile-per-hour fastball and the breaking ball at 82. Dozier in an 0-2 hole. And he fouled one off.
Another high fastball. Brian having to wait just a little bit longer to identify it, make sure it isn't that sharp breaking slider.
Very high, 1-2. Ottavino from Brooklyn. Claimed off waivers from the Cardinals a couple of years ago. One and two. Not a piece to stay alive. Got the slider and waited and got a piece.
Well, if he's going to throw him that slider, let's hope he keeps throwing it there. The one down and away is nasty, and it's hard to pick up. That one a little bit more in the middle of the plate. And Brian stayed on it reasonably well, fouled it off, but you can see with 2 strikes where this guy would be a battle. 94-mile-an-hour fastball. That quick little slurvy slider. That one right there. That's
nice job by Rosario keeping that around home plate.
He throws that harder one on the outside corner. That's a tough one to hit. Missed by quite a bit on that one, and you're right. Rosario made a nice play. Catchers have to know. I haven't played back there, but when they put that sign down for the slider, they got to know that there's a reasonable chance that they may have to be diving out there, sliding out, and keeping the ball in front of them.
Pick off to second. Safe. Got his hand in. I don't know how they didn't get him. That looked like that was timed perfectly. Here comes Walt Weiss.
Looked to me like they got it just in, like he got his hand in just in time. But what I like about that is Mayhew was bird dogging him the whole time. The whole time it was the second baseman faking him, making him aware of where he was. And then that time, the second baseman backed off, and Tulowitzki was the guy that came in. So you see right here, it looks like he's going to be clearly out, and he just doesn't get the tag on him. See Tulowitzki look at his hand. I think that ball really hit him in a tough spot. Just slammed into the palm of his hand, and he had to catch it in an awkward position.
Now 3-2 with Suzuki on deck. Roger's been battling here. He fell behind 0-2. Now it's 3-2.
Very good battle by Brian. He's laid off some of those down and away sliders. See if he can get something in the middle of the plate here. Good take right there. Excellent take.
A breaking ball just missed the corner, and they're loaded up now for Suzuki.
I think he took that ball for down, and it was down below the strike zone. But if you watch here, this is a tough pitch to lay off. You have to know right there that ball's going to get down below the strike zone. And that's a hard pitch to lay off. Good job by Brian.
Bases are loaded with 2 down. Suzuki 1 for 3 on the day. Strike 1. One and one. That one up to 95 miles per hour.
And that's why it was such a good take by Brian there to lay off that breaking ball, because you have to respect the fastball, and you don't. It takes you about halfway to the plate for you to discern which one it is, which speed is coming.
A foul. And now Suzuki with 2 strikes.
We saw Josh Willingham way out in front of that breaking ball, but it's a very small window of time. We're talking a tenth of a second or 2. If a guy reads fastball just a little too early, you jump out there and swing at it and at that slider and miss it by a long ways. You have to. It's a small margin for error in terms of time.
Toward the hole, Tulowitzki fires. What a play! What a play by Troy Tulowitzki. From deep in the hole, he threw out Suzuki by a foot and ended the inning.
Great backhand play, jump up in the air, and to get this much on the throw and right on the money. That's big league right there.
The Rockies series brought to you by the all-new Chrysler 200 with available all-wheel drive, America's import. Matt Guerrero comes into the ball game. Troy Tulowitzki at the plate has done the Twins in with a 2-run home run. That was just a fantastic play to kill a rally.
You won't see a better play. First of all, make the backhand, but then jump up in the air, make a strong, accurate throw to first. Look at this athleticism. That's just an all-star play right there by a terrific 5-tool player that happens to play the shortstop position about as well as anybody.
Guerrero delivers a first pitch strike to DJ LeMahieu. Brandon Barnes is on deck. Boone and Logan warming up in the Colorado bullpen. Escobar, 1 down.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Minnesota Twins and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Minnesota Twins, LLC.
1 down on the 7th, and now Brandon Barnes will hit. Barnes, the most commonly used pinch hitter for the Rockies. 34 pinch hitting appearances, 10 hits, a home run, 3 runs batted in. Three home runs on the year. His first 2 home runs this year were inside the park home runs. This to deep left. That's an outside the park home run. His second pinch hit home run, and the 3rd Rockies home run of the evening.
Brandon Barnes doing what every good pinch hitter does. When you go up there, don't take any time. Go to hacking. He got a fastball right in the middle of the plate. Looked like he was looking fastball. Got aggressive. Randy Bush, a great Twins pinch hitter. Used to talk to him all the time. He said, you know, I'm ready to swing at the first pitch I see from the time I leave the dugout if I'm going to pinch hit. And I think that's the attitude a pinch hitter has to have. No sense of waiting. Look for a fastball in the middle of the plate and try to tear it up.
Charlie Blackmon will hit. That's to left center field. Nunez got a good jump on it, but he didn't make the catch. And Blackmon will hold up at first. So a single for Blackmon. 1 out in the 7th. And it'll bring up Drew Stubbs. Been an odd road trip on a lot of levels. We had a lot of weird things happen last night under what we think was a full moon. But this is the 5th game for the Twins on this road trip. They've won 3 of them, lost 1 so far. They've hit 1 home run, and it's from Sam Fuld. Here's Stubbs. And they give Nunez an error on the play, sending Blackmon to first. A 2-run home run for Stubbs back in the 1st inning. Bloof with a nice catch. Hope he got that in the webbing. That one was scalded. 2 down. As promised earlier in the game, we have the AT&T fan photo of the game. Tweet your photo to hashtag NorthFanPhoto for a chance to be shown in a game broadcast brought to you by AT&T. A picture from FanFest today. Sure, they had a big crowd, a lot of fun activities for the family. Carlos Gonzalez, the hitter, popped up behind 3rd. Plouffe near the tarp. It's a really dangerous play. And Plouffe came up a step short.
Those tarps are dangerous. They knocked Vince Coleman out of the World Series one year.
That tarp was used, as we mentioned in passing, I suppose 4 o'clock, something like that. The rain came, and the tarp was on the field for a couple hours. Another foul ball into the seats. Well, we hope that the tarp will be idle, rolled up, and not moved to Target Field this weekend with 3 days of activities at Target Field. The Futures game and other events Sunday, the workout and the home run derby Monday, and then the game itself on Tuesday. 2 strikes. Rare of not one to give up many home runs. In fact, that's the first one he's given up this year in 25 plus innings. And now Gonzalez fouls it off his foot.
Or off the big shin guard he's wearing.
I don't believe Suzuki was wearing one after he drilled his ankle with a foul ball in the, was that 5th inning? Yeah, 5th inning. Came up in the 7th. And that wraps up the 7th inning. But Barnes with a pinch hit home run, adding another run for the Rockies. Trying to put together a comeback here. They had a threat in the top of the 7th, didn't score, and then saw the Rockies add another run in the bottom of the inning. Kendrys Morales will take his right-handed swings against veteran left-hander Boone Logan. Logan coming in for the 25th time. You see he's got a rather large ERA, 4 home runs allowed in just 16 2/3 innings. Be facing the middle of the Twins lineup, Morales, Plouffe, and Arcia. Twins needed to get something out of that 7th inning threat they put together, and Tulowitzki snuffed it out with a great defensive play. Morales with a hit in 3 trips.
Boone Logan recently back from a stint on the DL and then a rehab assignment. He had some arm inflammation, shoulder or elbow inflammation. I wonder, he's been a pretty successful left-handed pitcher. I wonder if he was pitching through a lot of arm issues. But in any event, here he is back again.
Swing and a miss. 1-1. Tigers beat the Royals 2-1. So Detroit now is enjoying a 6.5 game lead over Kansas City. Cleveland 7.5 back. White Sox 10.5 back, and if the Twins don't come back and win this, they'll be 11.5 games back. Fouled at the plate, 1-2. Mariners have tied up the A's, and we mentioned that score only because of all the intrigue surrounding how the Mariners handled the Twins series. Jared Burton warming up in the Twins pen. 5th inning, Oakland 2, Seattle 2, and Morales grounds it over by the Twins dugout. Mariners pushing Felix Hernandez back a day, which was just fine with the Twins lineup. And ended up perhaps costing themselves a game or 2 in the Twin series because of it. 1-2 to Kendrys Morales. Got him. And Logan strikes out Morales, 1 away. We'll bring up Trevor Plouffe. Our Chrysler 200 road ahead. 2 more games here. They're day games, and then the All-Star break, and then a nice long homestand, a 3-team week-and-a-half long homestand, and a chance for the Twins, if they can take care of business here in Colorado, chance for the Twins to have a good homestand and get back close to the 500 mark.
Yeah, if they could they win a couple of games here, be a very successful road trip, go home, come back after the break with a big homestand.
Plouffe with his second base hit, a 1-out single here in the 8th.
Good homestand, a really good homestand against Tampa, Cleveland, and the White Sox would go a long way toward jumping the Twins back up the central standings. You see Trevor with a nice line drive to center field. Just get the feeling in this ballpark that no lead is really absolutely safe. A lot of balls can drop out in the outfield. Yeah. The ball carries well out of the ballpark.
Rockies have led all night long, and yet Suzuki came to the plate last inning as the tying run.
Right.
Arcia swings and misses. Arcia 0 for 3, a strikeout and a couple of ground balls. Down and in, 1-1. Arcia's had some issues against left-handed pitchers. 6 hits, 43 at bats, a 140 average. Logan's still getting it up there at 95 miles per hour.
Always had a good arm and good stuff.
And a base hit. sharply up the middle. Good at bat for Arcia. And Plouffe digging for third base. So the Twins with a couple of one-out singles here, and Nunez will bat.
After being beat on fastball, the pitch before, Oswaldo Arcia gets one out in the middle of the plate and went right back up the middle with it. That's the kind of swing that I was talking about earlier that you can see from the Robinson Canos and the Justin Morneaus and the guys that hit left hand as well. It's that back through the ball swing rather than around to your pull field that makes them successful against left-handed pitchers. And that was a very, very nice two-strike swing by Arcia against Boone Logan, the left-hander.
Well, it's a 6-1 ball game. 2 on now for Nunez, looking for his first hit. He did drive in the lone Twins run with a ground ball. Outside ball 1. Each team with 10 hits. Half swing, the ball rolls away, and an appeal to first base ump Angel Hernandez says it's a strike.
Colorado so far doing to the Twins what the Twins did to Seattle.
Yeah.
Seattle being more efficient and more productive with the hits. Seattle out-hit the Twins most of those games, I think, and the Twins got more runs per hit.
Busted bat and a bouncer to Tulowitzki out there, and that's all they'll get. Nunez will get another run batted in on a broken back grounder to the Rockies shortstop. Plouffe scoring, and it's 6-2. And now Eduardo Escobar. Escobar with a couple of line drive hits. A double into the left field corner in the second. And then a single hit sharply up the middle in the 7th. After fouling off 6 two-strike pitches. Down around his feet, ball 1. So then you're imagining if Escobar and if Full come to the plate. The Twins have already used Colabello and Willingham. The biggest power threat on the bench would be Chris Parmelee. He's left-handed. Chris Herman, he's left-handed. Walt Weiss has used now both left-handed relievers. That covers the inside corner, 1-1. For a save situation to occur, the Rockies have to have a lead of 3 runs or less in the 9th. Big swing and a miss, 1-2. Escobar out on his front foot, lifts the foul pop back into the seats. Limited number of season ticket locations are now available in the Delta Sky 360 Legends Club. Enjoy the second half of the season in padded seats and enjoy the amenities that only the Legends Club can offer. The Delta Sky 360 Legends Club, the perfect combination of baseball and comfort. Learn more at twinsbaseball.com or 1-800-33-TWINS. And Escobar on an off-speed pitch strikes out. Twins get one and leave one in the 8th. 6-2. Troy Tulowitzki's had a big part of both the 6 for Colorado and the Twins getting just 2 runs. Jared Burton comes out of the Twins' pen to pitch to the Rockies in the 8th inning.
Jared Burton, nice season going for himself again this year. Went through some struggles early on, had found his fastball, and as oftentimes happens when you get confidence in your fastball again, your other pitches start falling in line as well, and he's pitched very well of late. And this man, Troy Tulowitzki, has been the difference in the game tonight. 2-run home run and a terrific play, and maybe the game-turning, game-saving play at shortstop. Terrific backhand play with the bases loaded, jump up. Incredibly strong throw from mid-air to first base to get the Rockies out of a jam.
Big swing and a foul back. If Tulowitzki doesn't make that play and Morales doubles, the Twins might have to find themselves in a tie game.
Yep.
None of that happened, however. Tulowitzki cranked a 2-run home run to right field. He's 1 for 3. He'll be followed by Morneau and Arenado. Driven to left, right at Nunez, who stumbles and tumbles and this time catches it. 1 down. Back to our carsoup.com trivia question. Who scored the first run in Coors Field history? I'll go with Dante Bichette. And then it was Walt Weiss in 1995, who was a teammate of Dante Bichette's.
Yep. And Eric Young's.
So in a sense, we got it right. Here's Morneau. Last year, the Twins were in Texas. Morneau had just hit what turned out to be a game-winning home run in the Twins' last at bat. And the next day was traded to the Pittsburgh Pirates. Had time only to say goodbye to a few teammates. Was in Pittsburgh later that day. Never really got a chance to have a goodbye in Minnesota. And I guess we'll call it a hello Monday for the home run hitting contest instead of a goodbye. 2 strikes to Morneau. Did not have a good productive experience in Pittsburgh. Pirates got to the playoffs and all that, but Morneau didn't hit a home run at all in a Pirate uniform and drove in only 3 runs in counting the postseason. He had 97 at bats and drove in just 3 runs. Off the end of the bat and a roller to Escobar. Morneau retired by a step. 2 down.
Justin never ever really got healthy until over the winter before this season. Came to Colorado with first time healthy in 4 years, clear mind, great ballpark to hit in, and the stars aligned for him here with the Rockies, and he's having a big year and good for him.
A scoring change for those of you keeping score at home. Charlie Blackmon's been given credit for a single in the 7th inning. Take the error away from Nunez. 2 down in the 8th, and here's Arenado. Arenado with a triple and a single. 1-1.
It's good looking young player right here. As you said, Walt Weiss talks about how great his defense is. He's strong with a bat in his hand. Also strong right hand hitter. He's a guy who knows a little bit about good defense. That's a powerful statement for him to say he's the best defensive third baseman he's ever seen, because he played next to one and he's seen a lot of them.
Down and away, 2-2. Problem here has not been offense, certainly, and it hasn't been defense. It's been pitching. And they've tried to go about it a number of different ways here. Even in stand to reason, you got a hitter's ballpark. If you had a swing and miss pitching staff, you know, that might be the best way to go about business, but pitching remains an issue here.
You know, they say that the atmosphere up here, at least the altitude and atmosphere, affects breaking balls negatively. Guys that are real good breaking ball pitchers having a hard time. The ground ball to Escobar and finishes off the inning. I've seen some good breaking balls here tonight. I don't know how much it really affects them.
Rockies have done a little bit of everything here tonight. They've pitched better than the Twins. Some sparkling defensive plays, a throw from right field, a throw from short. And under a full moon, LaTroy Hawkins in a non-save situation will come in and try to put the Twins away in the ninth inning. 36,110 the paid attendance. Sam Fuld will lead things off.
How about LaTroy Hawkins still pitching and pitching effectively? A .57 ERA in his last 15 and 2/3 innings, and 7 for 18 in the saves. I mean, and how long has LaTroy been around? My goodness, it's just great to see him just still being successful.
Fuld, the batter. He first started drawing a paycheck from the Minnesota Twins in 1991.
Yeah.
Now, it was at the minor league level in rookie league ball, but his first year of professional ball with the Twins was 1991. They hadn't won their second World Series yet.
20th season in the big leagues. You know, and you see his delivery. I mean, he's been pitching for 20 years, and the ball still comes out of his hand really, really well.
2 strikes to Fuld. Parmalee will hit next.
Watch his delivery, real easy delivery right over the top. And the ball still coming out of his hand well.
Line drive to Morneau, 1 away. CenturyLink linked to what's next. Kevin Correa has pitched well as of late for the Twins, hoping to do so here tomorrow against Tyler Matzik. Parmalee pinch hitting. Entering the year despite his tenure. And a belt high strike. just 101 career saves. He was a closer for the Twins back in 2001. Didn't have a particularly great year, but he did get 28 saves. Strike two. Parmalee's taken 2 fastballs for strikes. That's down the line. And a foul ball.
As I recall, LaTroy had some really nice years as a setup guy.
Yep.
And that was a good 1-2 combination with LaTroy coming into the 8th inning. He used to throw hard, a lot of high fastballs to throw the ball by guys.
Started his Twins career as a starter. 2 strikes. Parmalee fouls it back.
He never really had the good third pitch that I think you need as a starter. He's been primarily a 2-pitch pitcher. He's always thrown hard, but you can't have just 2 pitches no matter how hard you throw it as a starting pitcher. You can do that as a reliever, but tough to do as a starter.
26 wins in 99 starts for the Twins. Now, granted, the team he was pitching for wasn't a very good team, but the ERAs weren't very good. He was 10-14 in 1999 with an ERA of a satanic 6.66. 1-2 to Parmalee. Chopper headed up the middle, but it's backhanded by LeMahieu, and he throws him out. 2 down. He will turn, Hawkins will, 42 years of age this December. And we see from time to time relief pitchers in their 40s hanging around, but they're almost always left-handers.
Exactly. Crafty left-handers, as they call them, guys that don't throw hard, a little sinker, slider, change up with breaking ball. You don't see a guy that at age 42 throwing fastballs and curveballs. He's still throwing to get it up there at 95 miles an hour.
1 strike to Dozier. 5th plate appearance for Dozier. He has 2 singles and a walk. He has had a great career. Two and 1. Rockies had an off day yesterday. One of the reasons I'm sure Hawkins is being used here today. The All-Star break, of course, coming up after Sunday's game. High fly to left. That's hit pretty well. Blackman back at the wall, makes the catch to end the game. Dozier with some good at-bats in the ball game here. A line out to left started the game, and a deep fly ball to left ended the game. And the Twins' little 3-game road winning streak comes to a close here in Denver.